Administrative and management careers at NASA are many and varied. They are generally in the fields of computers, personnel, procurement, logistics, and public affairs, and include careers such as administrative specialist, budget analyst, contract specialist, information technology specialist, public affairs specialist, and many others. Each of these careers differ in job duties, responsibilities, daily activities, and educational requirements. The main focus of these careers is to help and manage other NASA employees, such as the astronauts, scientists, program directors, and support staff. All of NASA's employees work together in order to explore space and advance mankind's knowledge of the universe. While education is very important, at NASA, education and experience are held in equal value. A job applicant may have either the required education, experience, or a combination of both in order to be considered for the position. Regardless of the employment position, all NASA employees take great pride in their work and recognize that they play a part in our country's exploration of space and increase in knowledge about our universe. A NASA administration specialist provides communication, business, hospitality, and clerical support to other employees at NASA. This position is similar to the career of an administrative assistant or secretary, but specialists often have additional responsibilities, such as managing events and administrative projects, conducting research, and preparing reports and presentations. The specific duties of an administrative specialist will depend on the specific division of NASA to which he or she is assigned. He or she will use computers, answer phones, organize records, and manage other office-related tasks. He or she will also handle substantive administration projects as they arise, such as organizing and summarizing NASA mission reports, composing correspondence and memoranda for NASA personnel and outside agencies, and even creating reports for use by NASA astronauts and senior staff. At NASA, an administrative specialist will often be the first person that outside representatives contact, so he or she will need a pleasant demeanor and be able to communicate well with people from all types of backgrounds and cultures. He or she may also make travel arrangements for top NASA staff members and draft office procedural manuals that will be used by all NASA personnel. An administrative specialist may also plan and schedule events at NASA and act as a liaison between NASA and the press. Further, he or she may act as a project manager and organize the work of many NASA employees to complete a project on time and as requested. In doing so, the administrative specialist will break the project down into tasks and delegate those tasks to proper members of his or her department. After the task has been completed, the administrative specialist will oversee the integration and compilation of the planned project. He or she will then test and implement the product or facilitate the testing process as needed. While there are no specific educational requirements, an administrative specialist at NASA must have at least a high school diploma or GED. There are also certificates and 2-year degree programs available at community and technical colleges. These programs will help the student expand his or her knowledge in computer applications, general office procedures, business math, communication, and customer service. There is even a Certified Administrative Professional, or CAP credential, available from the International Association of Administrative Professionals, or IAAP. This certification is designed to demonstrate proficiency in computer systems and technology, office procedures, communications, and office management. Certification requires the passing of an exam, and recertification is required every 5 years. To act as an administrative specialist at NASA, one must be very organized, have good administration and management skills, have good analytical skills, possess sound judgment, be proficient at using computers, have good communication skills, have good interpersonal skills, and have knowledge of the use of general office equipment and basic accounting. A budget analyst determines how to allocate NASA's available and projected funds among its different departments and divisions. He or she monitors the spending of NASA's budget and prepares budget reports for top NASA personnel and directors. He or she will also estimate the future financial needs of NASA's departments and projects. One of the budget analyst's main job duties is to examine the budget and seek new ways to improve efficiency and cut spending, without cutting the effectiveness of the department or project. At the start of a budget cycle, each of NASA's departments and project managers provide proposals and financial requirements for the next year. The budget analyst is responsible for determining the feasibility and appropriateness of these proposals. He or she must ask and answer the following questions. Have the managers asked for too much money? Will the project be completed with the money requested? And is the money requested being spent wisely? He or she will then create a budget summary of all departments and proposals for presentation to senior management, who will assess and either approve or disapprove of the requested budgets. For NASA, legislators in Congress will make the final decision to approve the overall budget, as well as specific budgets of national importance. It is the budget analyst who will argue for or against the funding of various NASA projects. During the budget cycle, shortfalls may arise in some areas, and the budget analyst may need to make suggestions for spending reductions or reallocation of funds from one department to another. He or she is concerned with how efficiently funds are being distributed among the departments and programs. The budget analyst must also be aware of public policy development. Changes in an administration's space exploration goals will greatly affect which programs are funded and which ones are not. A NASA budget analyst may even attend congressional committee meetings and hearings in order to explain his or her budget recommendations. While a budget analyst normally requires a bachelor's degree from a 4-year college or university in either finance, accounting, business, economics, mathematics, or a related field, NASA allows applicants to substitute real-world experience for educational requirements. However, a budget analyst still needs a strong educational background in accounting, business, finance, and economics. Since more than 50% of budget analysts work in government positions, an applicant may wish to become certified as a Government Financial Manager, or GFM. This credential is offered by an organization known as Advancing Government Accountability. Once the applicant has obtained a bachelor's degree and 2 years of professional government finance experience, he or she will need to obtain 24 credit hours of formal study in financial management. Certification is finalized after the passing of 3 examinations. In order to keep the GFM designation, one must complete a minimum of 80 continuing education hours. Lifelong learning is a component in this profession, even if you choose not to become certified. To be an effective budget analyst at NASA, one must have exceptional math skills, have good writing skills, have good communication skills, be very analytical and detail-oriented, be objective, have confidence and not be afraid to disagree with budget proposals, and be proficient at using software programs such as spreadsheets, databases, and financial analyst applications. A contract specialist creates, reviews, and monitors contractual agreements between NASA and other individuals and companies who provide services, materials, and labor to NASA. In the private sector, a contract specialist is referred to as a purchasing director, agent, or manager. At NASA, the contract specialist is expected to act as a shrewd negotiator and work to achieve the best possible agreement between the third party and NASA. He or she may also supervise a third-party contractor's performance to ensure that the terms and conditions of the contract are being fulfilled. It is the contract specialist who prepares and negotiates the contracts between NASA and third-party research companies and personnel, such as those who make the spacecraft parts and fuel, as well as those who work at universities and provide NASA with valuable research and ideas for new technology. A contract specialist may also plan the overall negotiation strategy for an entire team of negotiators, coordinate that strategy with the negotiation teams, and lead the team in negotiations with other companies in both the United States and other countries around the world. He or she may conduct market research and analysis to determine the best and most cost-effective equipment and supplies for NASA's projects. If a satellite is launched into space by NASA, the metal and other materials that were used to build that satellite were acquired by a contract specialist. As a contract specialist, it is important to be aware of legislative and regulatory issues that may be related to the contracts he or she is overseeing. He or she may have to make revisions or changes to the contract as laws and regulations are established, changed, or otherwise modified. Another important element of being a contract specialist involves building relationships with trusted vendors and suppliers, as well as keeping a detailed list of possible contractors needed for any given situation. There is no specific field of study or degree required to work as a contract specialist. However, NASA requires its contract specialists to have knowledge of basic procurement procedures and techniques, knowledge of negotiation procedures, knowledge of laws, regulations, and precedents governing procurement procedures, and a general knowledge of law relating to contracts. A degree from a 4-year or 2-year college will give the applicant a much better chance at obtaining a higher ranking position at NASA. But NASA also values experience as much as education. So having worked as a purchasing agent or contract negotiator in the private sector is just as valuable to NASA as a college degree. There is also certification available from the Institute for Supply Management, or ISM. This credential is one of the most recognized in the field and demonstrates an expertise in supply management. To work as a contract specialist at NASA, one must have excellent negotiation skills, have good management skills, be able to manage several projects at one time, understand basic contract law and principles, be very organized, be able to understand contract terms and conditions, and be able to complete tasks within strict timelines. An IT or information technology specialist is a computer support and security administrator who helps NASA manage its computer hardware, software, and networking systems. At NASA, IT specialist job duties include conducting ongoing testing of NASA's existing computer equipment and software programs, installing new software and hardware, testing new software and hardware to ensure that it is installed and working properly, training NASA employees on the use of computer software and hardware, troubleshooting and solving problems with NASA's computers and network systems, keeping up to date with technical manuals for NASA's computer equipment, communicating with outside software and hardware developers, repairing or replacing broken computer hardware, and updating computer hardware and software. It is the IT specialist who sets up all of the new computer systems for NASA, even the computers that monitor human space flights. The IT specialist will also conduct courses or informal classes to help NASA employees become familiar with their computers and software applications. Every time you see a movie that shows NASA flight control working with dozens of computers and video displays, what you don't see is the countless hours spent by an IT specialist setting up those computers and training the flight control workers on how to use them. The IT specialist also maintains NASA's network system, which allows all of the individual departments to communicate with each other. When someone from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida sends a flight control message to someone at the Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland, that message was sent through a network that was set up and implemented by a NASA IT specialist. To be hired as an IT specialist, NASA requires basic prior experience in the IT field, This experience may be from paid or unpaid work, or the completion of an IT certification. The IT experience must include competency and proficiency in attention to detail, customer service, oral communication, and problem solving. The applicant will be required to identify and verify their level of proficiency for each of the above areas in relation to their experience. For higher level positions at NASA, the applicant must have experience in advanced IT principles, concepts, methods, standards, and practices. As an alternative to experience, an applicant may apply if he or she has a degree from an accredited college or university in computer science, information science, information systems management, or technology management. An effective NASA IT specialist must have knowledge of computer software, hardware, and network systems, be an effective communicator, have excellent problem-solving skills, be able to pay attention to details, have good customer service skills, and be able to train others on the use of computer systems. A public affairs specialist plans, directs, and coordinates activities designed to maintain a favorable public image for NASA and raise issues of public awareness. He or she may write speeches for NASA department heads, create promotional programs for NASA projects, manage special events for NASA employees and the public, and even produce videos about NASA and its various projects. A public affairs specialist also writes the press releases from NASA, informing the public of the latest developments and projects being conducted. He or she handles NASA's communication with the public and media, keeping them informed about the activities and goings-on at NASA. When a major event happens, such as the landing of a rover on Mars, the public affairs specialist is the one who informs the press and sometimes gives interviews or speeches explaining the details of the event. In some cases, the information he or she will write has legal consequences. In those cases, he or she must work with NASA's attorneys to be sure that the information released is both legally accurate and clear to the public. In relation to social media, the duties of a public affairs specialist include serving as the day-to-day manager of NASA's digital media program and assisting the director of digital media with content, planning, and execution across all relevant platforms and mediums, such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Creating social media strategies for NASA accounts. Reviewing analytics and trends to make recommendations on changes to current campaigns and digital media strategies. Maintaining the NASA brand and visual identity through a variety of digital media tools and assets. Ensuring continuity of messages across all digital media platforms. And developing concepts for graphics and digital products for distribution on NASA social media platforms. The public affairs specialist may even create and distribute internal communications, such as the NASA agency newsletter. To act as a public affairs specialist for NASA, an applicant must have at least 1 year of specialized experience in planning and executing the public affairs program in an agency or organization, developing and disseminating informational materials to internal and external audiences, developing and executing proactive communication strategies via print, visual, web-based, multimedia, and video materials, and producing, researching, writing, and providing layout and design of a variety of communications products. This experience may be either in the public or private sector, and may be either paid, volunteer, or even part-time. As an alternative, an applicant may apply if he or she has a degree from an accredited college or university in social media. A NASA public affairs specialist must have excellent communication skills, be able to plan, develop, and produce publication materials, have knowledge of social media, be able to recognize social media trends, be a creative thinker, be very organized, be computer proficient, and be proactive in social media.